Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Hello and welcome. Here we're going to be discussing the eclipse cycle. So we have a Virgo, the first Virgo full moon lunar eclipse on the 14th of March 2025. And it's so important that you pay attention to this eclipse because it's going to take you on a journey over the next year and a half until 2027 to be precise. What we're going to be doing in this video is we are going to be discussing the North and South Node, the history of the nodes, and then we're going to go into each sign and where these eclipses will be happening. So where there's a South Node Virgo eclipse, a North Node Pisces eclipse, what do they mean for you? The eclipse dates will be down below for you to see them. So with that being said, this is going to be such a powerful journey going forward because we will be looking back. We're going to be looking back at 2006 to 2008, as well as we'll be looking at 2015 to 2017. So pay attention to these time frames within your life because they are pivotal for you and your journey, what was going on in your life at that time. Go back, look back, think back. I remember distinctively what was happening in both those times in my life. I do have a guidebook available for purchase of the Virgo, South Node, North Node, Pisces, the themes of them, what it brings up, how it affects each sign, as well as affirmations, journal prompts, and just rituals you can do with the eclipses to restore balance to your life because the eclipses are powerful points. The nodes are powerful points that basically take us on a direction that is unexpected. And during eclipses, we can feel unsettled, unnerved. And depending where the eclipse hits within your natal chart, it can be more unnerving for you. Okay, and what do I mean by that? If you have a lot of Virgo placements within your chart, that can be unnerving. If you have a lot of Gemini placements within your chart, that can be unnerving. That means the nodes are going to be like, if it's your Virgo placements, it's going to be conjunct. If it is your Gemini placements, it's going to be in a square. Sagittarius, and it's also a square, and Pisces placements, when these eclipses happen, they're also going to be creating this major shift within your life because North Node is in Pisces. So that being said, let's get into the videos. What are the nodes? The nodes are points to basically show us where we are going to be having eclipses. They're so important in your birth chart as well. Okay, because in your birth chart, those eclipses that are happening during the time of your birth, the cycle that you're in between, shows what you've come into this life carrying, the skills and what you have, what you've known. And the North Node will be the journey towards your soul's development. What you need in order for your soul to grow, to develop further, to be enriched within this life. So that is what the nodes represent. So when we have these nodal cycles like we are currently in, the North Node is in Pisces. The North Node entered into Pisces on the 11th of January 2025, and the South Node is in Virgo until July 2026. I think the 26th of July, I will put the date. However, the eclipses that we have going forward in Pisces and Virgo will be until 2027, and the dates will be put down below. Now, in order to understand this, you need to understand what will happen during these eclipses. You need to understand these signs and what does the South Node represent and what does the North Node represent. The South Node is a purging out process. It's what we are letting go of. It can be uncomfortable because it is what we are used to, what we are accustomed to, what we know, what we are holding on to. It is something that you feel is your safety blanket in life. And have you ever taken a safety blanket away from a child? They feel emotional, right? They're going to have a reaction to this. And so when we are dealing with South Node eclipses, we always have this feeling like we need to let go of this. We need to kind of release this. This is unhealthy for us. This is keeping us stuck. It's keeping us stagnant. And the North Node is what we are moving towards. It is where our souls are being guided to grow. And we need to be going out into this new direction. And this is unnerving as well, because now we are charted into something that is completely outside of our comfort zone. And we feel it, but we know we need it for growth. And that is a powerful, transformative experience. So that's what the nodes overall represent. Pisces represents spirituality. It's ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. In modern astrology, traditional astrology, just Jupiter. It's our faith, it's our wisdom, it's the spiritual journey that we go on. It is our optimism, opportunities. It is unexpected opportunities, and it has a lot to do with our belief, what we believe in. Pisces rules over our lymphatic system within our body, so our circulation within our body. Pisces is the feet within the body as well. Pisces rules over hospitals, prisons, rehabilitation centers. Pisces rules over any place where you are secluded. So if you are going to a church, if you are going to a mosque, if you are going to a temple, you are going to a place to seclude yourself from the world at a point in time, by yourself, in prayer, in worship, in awe of the sacred. And that is Pisces. It's where we are now taking a step away from the world, and we are journeying to a place within. Okay, so we might be going to a physical place, but ultimately it's a place that we are going within. Pisces rules over hidden enemies. Pisces rules over our fears, our subconscious fears, the fears that we are not aware of, the fears that we try to suppress, the fears that we try to hold back, the fears that we push into the bottom of our subconscious, that we don't even think twice, and we just act out of fear. It's a reflex. That's Pisces. Pisces is escapism. The things that we do to escape, whether that's drugs, alcohol, whether that's television, watching. Pisces rules over television, acting, movies, creativity. Pisces is, and when I say escape, it's anything. It could even be love addiction. The things that we do, like we always want to do it over and over again for the next high. Constant scrolling. That is Pisces. Watching other people on social media. They are basically creating, Pisces, something for you. It's not really who they are, but they're projecting something out there that you are now entertained by. That's Pisces. Entertainment is Pisces. It is where we have the ability to go into our imagination, create something, and captivate an audience. So Pisces is this vast energy of everything so deep, and it's also spiritual. It's so much. We don't fully know what Pisces truly is. And we don't know what Pisces is because it's something that is our hidden selves. It's our subconscious. We're not aware of it, so we don't know it fully. Pisces is ruled by water, our emotions, our intuition. This is where we get our spiritualists, astrologers, tarot card readers, witches, the people who basically tap into the unknown in order to show us something in this reality. Whether they are doing it through spirit work or creativity, they are tapping into the unseen realms, and that is Pisces, the unseen realms. And with the theme of isolation, Pisces is also abandonment. It's where we feel abandoned. That's where the loneliness comes in if we are spending too much time in that Pisces area of our lives. Virgo. Virgo is our day-to-day routine, health. And it is also our work life. It rules over work. It rules over practicality. Virgo's ruled by Mercury. It's the details, but practical details, because Virgo is an earth sign. Virgo deals over our health, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and how those things influence us, as well as stress. That's why anxiety kicks in. If your day is overwhelming, which is Virgo, stress kicks in, and this affects your nervous system, which is going to put pressure on those organs, and hence we have disease in the body. Health becomes a big theme during this time. It's going to be, so those are the themes that we see in Virgo. Also purity. Purity is something, because Virgo is represented by the human. Pisces is the two fish swimming in two different directions, hence the feeling of duality within Pisces, because it's reality versus our imagination, whereas Virgo is reality. Virgo is the only sign represented by a human female figure, the virgin, purity, and it's where we purify our lives. It is where we can become very aware of women's issues because of what Virgo represents. It's a feminine figure, the virgin, purity. This is such an important thing, that Virgo rules also over our stomach, our gut. So gut health becomes very important. It is the practicality that we need within a day to stay on top of our to-do list. It is the plans that we make in order to make our dreams come true. It is how we take care of our health in order to fulfill our dreams, because if you're not sleeping well, eating well, you can't act upon anything that you wish to create. You become scattered and you lack focus and you neglect yourself. And this is what these signs represent. And with the North Node there, we are pushing more towards the Pisces themes. And we are looking at the letting go of the Virgo themes. And Virgo rules work, remember. So your job, that's Virgo. Everyone's job is Virgo. So when we are looking, no matter what you are doing, because it rules over work, everyone will have an area of their life. It's the sixth house, that is Virgo house, which is the working area of our lives and what we do for work. It will change, but it's your work. And that's what Virgo is. Work, health, day-to-day routine, and how we take care of ourselves. Vital house for us to manage everything within a day, as well as Pisces, our house of peace and serenity. So now we're going to be discussing the history, 2006 and 2008. So think back to 2006 to 2008. That was when the North Node was lost in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And then 2015 to 2017, that was when the North Node was in Virgo and the South Node was in Pisces. So we have these nodes returning to a specific sign every 18 years. So 2006, that was when the North Node was in Pisces. Now we have the North Node in Pisces in 2025. And every 8 years, we deal with eclipses in those signs, okay? And that's important to keep into, the back of your mind. So in 2006 and 2008, what were you doing? What were you experiencing? I remember in 2006, I just graduated college. I graduated as a skin and healthcare therapist. I had already studied alternative therapies, color therapy, reflexology, aromatherapy, and also I did a course in psychology. So by this time in my life, I just graduated and I didn't know what I was going to do. Now, bear in mind, the South Node was in Virgo. Virgo rules work. South Node is where we are decreasing and letting go. So I completed studying, and at this point, I really didn't know how to get a job. It's not that I didn't know how to get a job. I knew how you apply, you get one, which I had done. But mind you, there was nothing that appealed to me. Like, it didn't appeal to me in the essence of, like, for some reason, either I felt off with the people that I was being interviewed by. So it wasn't about me not getting the job. I remember at that time receiving offers, But it wasn't the offer. It was more my sense of like, what is my bigger grandeur purpose? North Node in Pisces. Pisces is that, what is my bigger like purpose? Is this my purpose? Does this sit right with my soul? We start asking ourselves these big questions with the North Node in Pisces. Do I feel called to do this? Remember, when the North Node's in Pisces, we are talking about an experience that feels that we are called from spirit, from the heavens, from angels, from guides, from beyond, to point us in the right direction. And as much as we want to rely upon the Virgo energy of practicality, work, day-to-day grind, it is challenging nonetheless, because we know there's something bigger than ourselves. During that time of 2006 to 2008 was my biggest overall spiritual awakening. I suffered many health issues at that time. I even had an MRI during that time in my life. It was a life where and that was what led me to even ask the bigger and grander question: what is my purpose? My health was failing, so working seriously, like continuously at that time, didn't sit right with me. And why was this happening to me? I am young. I've just completed everything in my life. Where do I go from here? And I want you to think back to that experience in your life, because it would be different for you, but that's how it impacted me. And I want you to think back. Now, the next thing I'm going to discuss, world history. These are the things that I thought was significant. You can always go and look back and see what you feel is significant within your life. And I do remember, because I felt so lost, I remember getting into a relationship. And that's the worst thing you can do when you already feel lost. And that brought about the most deepest spiritual awakening in my life. So let's talk about the astrology dates and what happened. So during that time in 2006, we had an Austrian teen escape captivity after 8 years. Now remember, I said Virgo rules and what's the Virgo is an earth sign, but the image of Virgo is a human virgin purity. Now this teen escapes after 8 years in captivity. Pisces rules imprisonment. It doesn't just have to be a prison. It can feel like we feel imprisoned by this relationship. I feel imprisoned by this job. You feel imprisoned. That's what it rules over. Okay, so she escapes after 8 years. Think about the 8-year cycle. Eclipses, the nodes. We will have eclipses in those signs every 8 years. There is something that happens in marriages. It's like the 7-year crisis. After 7 years of marriage, people get divorced. That is when they're done. And as an astrologer, I feel eclipses have something to do with it. So the nodes that they got married at the time of come back around every 8 years. And this is when people start deciding that they're done the cycle, because that's when the cycle is complete. And we have the opportunity to relook at it. So the people that generally stay married, they will work that cycle. It doesn't mean that they don't have these marital issues. They just look at it and see how they can do it in a different way. How can they revive things? And is it salvageable? So that's what happened there in 2006. Another thing big. Remember I said when the South Node's in Virgo, and Virgo rules work, our job, no matter your job, that was the most challenging time for jobs and getting work. And let me explain to you why. So the United States housing bubble, that is what happened there. It was a fallout that there were plenty of house foreclosures. At the point, there was 1,259,000 and more that basically, and I'll put the number down below, that basically houses were closed. There was a mortgage crisis. Now, this is important because this sort of thing was happening around the world, even though this was happening in America. Fun fact, Twitter launch, and that was in 2006. Please check that date, but that is when that happened. because the eclipses run from 2006 to 2008. So just check that. But like, you can also go back and look at your own, like, you know, what was happening in history back then. Because what I found, there was a lot of terrorist attacks, a lot of like crashes as well. Those were also common themes, and you can look at that. Another thing that was important, by 2008, we had the global financial crisis. And that was when they were talking of world recession. Now, the South Node was in Virgo at that time. The North Node was in Pisces. And when these things start happening, we have a lot of, obviously, suicides, people suffering with mental health and anxiety, you know, having a crisis when it comes to mortgages and so forth. That is a big thing. People can't afford the day-to-day living. Comment down below. I'd love to hear what was happening for you at that time. There was such a pivotal change in the world as a whole. And that was 2006 to 2008. Now in 2015 to 2017, we had the North Node in Virgo and the South Node in Pisces. And we do see themes during this time, a lot of global warming, where there were lots of, you know, news around global warming and what we can do to improve the earth, what we can do to improve the planet. Improvement is Virgo. Improvement, being critical of our errors and making changes. With the North Node there, it was encouraging that. Now, what we had happen during that time was in 2017, Donald Trump was elected president, and as well, the Harvey Weinstein became big news during that time. Of that happened in 2017, but it was big news. Women's issues come to light, as well as the Me Too movement came to light. So remember, Virgo is the human, virgin, women's issues become a big thing. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO, announces in 2015 that Facebook has 1 billion users. Now, I remember back in that time, because by this point in my life, that was when I first started putting it out there into the world about what I do. And I created a Facebook page, and that is when I started doing readings and so forth. That's when I started. So in 2006 to 2008, I had this major spiritual shift in my life. I was completely lost. Didn't know what I was going to do. Suffering with health issues, trying to decide where to next, getting into a relationship. That brought around more spiritual crises within my life. And by the time 2015 to 2017 hit, I'm now creating a Facebook page. So I really typically got into readings, I would say around the age of 2021. And by that time, it was just privately, because I was going through so much. I was trying to figure out myself and the experiences that I was having. By this point now, I create a Facebook page and I'm putting it out into the world. And it has been going since 2015. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. It's been something that I've been doing for the longest time. And it truly makes me happy. So there I find direction. So I want you to think back to the time. What happened? I remember that during that time as well, that was the launch of TikTok in 2016. Now it's important to see what happens, because that was 8 years ago. Now we in 2015, it's important to see what plays and what new plays out with TikTok. TikTok has been in the news with the whole thing that happened earlier this year in January, where TikTok was being taken away from America. Now it's coming back. Big stuff happened, yeah? And there is this thing, like I said, it happens with marriages too. After the 7-year mark, that is when crisis hits and people get divorced if they cannot work through it. Because by that point, the romance is faded, you know, the sweetness is fading, and we've gotten into a routine, and it's how we're taking care of ourselves. In fact, every single thing that you do within your life is running at an 8-year cycle. So every single time you start something new at an eclipse, be aware of it. What eclipses, where were the nodes, and what was happening, because it will show you when you're coming to that point of a redirect. And how do you want to direct it? Are you still happy? Is it a point to say goodbye and move forward? So that was a very interesting time, I thought, as well. And Back in 2006 to 2008, Twitter had a launch. So notice all this stuff that comes up about particularly social media. And why is that? Pisces is social media too, because Pisces is the illusion that we create behind the screen and the creativity that goes into it and what we put out in order for viewers to watch entertainment Pisces, and we can escape through that lens. So it's very interesting times. Be aware of what I spoke about previously about jobs and how they play about. During this time in 2015 to 2017, we still were dealing with the ramifications of 2006 and 2008 because those were big years. So yes, and now we're going to get into the eclipses, the astrology for the signs and what it means for you. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Now on the 14th of March 2025, we have a full moon Virgo eclipse. It's a first eclipse and it's a full moon eclipse. I want you to remember that. Now the South Node is in Virgo and the North Node is in Pisces. And the Sun is in Pisces. We're currently in Pisces season, and that is when we get a full moon in Virgo, the opposite sign. So over this journey over the next year and a half until 2027, I do have the dates down below. And if you'd like a guidebook to guide you on this journey, it is available for you with rituals and manifestation things that you can do to improve your life for your highest potential. Because eclipses, they seem sometimes, even though they close out doors, they open new ones, but they can be highly triggering. So keep that in mind. And they only trigger us because they're pushing us outside of our comfort zone. So for you, Aries, with the South Node eclipse in Virgo, it is about releasing and letting go the areas of life. And this is your work life, your health, your routine, how you're taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, like how do you take care of you? How do you eat? How do you sleep? You might even think about exercising, taking better care of your health. If not, you could even notice at this time that you are having health crises where you are just exhausted by all that you do and are suffering major burnout and just feeling generally overwhelmed in life, right? Because this is your day-to-day routine. The North Node is in Pisces, so the eclipses that will be happening in Pisces will be pointing you in a new direction to spirituality, finding peace, healing. Remember, Pisces rules also over hospitals. So does Virgo, medical care, taking care of ourselves medically, physically, seeking out help to support ourselves on our journey. So for you, Aries, this is such an important time because you are closing out cycles in your life, and you might even be adopting or an approach to life that is more spiritual and uplifting. So you might decide to start a spiritual society, join a spiritual society, join a church, a mosque, some form of spiritual journey that you are going on to help you, that gives you peace. You could be deepening your meditation practice or starting meditation, journaling, getting into crystals, meeting spiritual teachers. This is where we meet those people that teach us great things in life of how to embrace the parts of ourselves within that tap into our magic. This is what you are doing. It's a highly evolving time for you. It's where you are deciding to be less practical, less, work orientated. You might even change jobs during this time. Change of work is very prominent for you. That is a work life that is more healthier, but you are definitely delving deep into the divine and spiritual practices. Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, we are going to be having a full moon on the 14th of March, 2025 in Virgo. It's a full moon lunar eclipse. Now, there will be dates down below for the eclipses in Virgo and Pisces, both solar as well as lunar eclipses. Now, we need to keep in mind that the South Node is in Virgo and the North Node is in Pisces. So there's going to be an area of life, Virgo, and you're going to see it very clearly with this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, guiding you to basically relook at your romantic life. What's going on with the romantic life that is not basically fulfilling you? Are you being too critical within your romantic life? Are you overextending yourself in your romantic life with your romantic partner, lover, friend? Where are you overgiving? You're also going to be asked to let go of critical thought when it comes to creative projects. I do have a guidebook available to assist you over the next year and a half with working with these eclipses so that you can really excel during this time. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to re-examine your creativity. How are you using your creativity to its, basically to a point that's absolutely 100% holding you back? How can you let go of the criticism that you have about your creative process? Have you not been doing things to allow for gentle ease and fun? For you, sometimes fun can be working on practical projects. I have to do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, and getting things done. This is telling you to indulge in just pure fun that doesn't have to do with doing so much. Because Taurians can be very practical in what they do, and sometimes even in their fun, it can come across as being practical. In the sense that maybe they decide they want to decorate their house, and all of a sudden that's fun, yeah? For a Taurian, like to redecorate and so forth, but it comes to a point that they can become so practical about it that it's no longer fun and becomes a chore. So remember that. Have fun, like gentle fun. Go to the beach. Do something that doesn't require you, that's fun to organize and be practical, and to overextend yourself to others as well, because you can also overextend yourself. When it comes to children, you would also notice, if you have kids, you could also feel like you're being too hard on your kids or too critical of your kids. Pull yourself back, okay? You have the North Node in Pisces. This is great. It's asking you about your future vision and dreams that you have for yourself. And this also tells me you're going to meet new people and connect to people who are more aligned to your spiritual growth. Your soul is calling for those people to come into your life. So you might notice changes within your work life, or you might have co-workers leave and new ones come in. Now your team changes. You might notice changes within your family, changes within your friend circle. You might decide to join specific organizations. This is where you are being charitable, humanitarian work. You're also focusing on that dream that you have for you. Hello Gemini, you can totally excel. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is a time of you excelling and pushing forward on your goals, your ambitions, your career, your reputation. The world wants to see you and you are stepping out there. Now, it's important to note that the South Node's in Virgo and the North Node's in Pisces, and we have these eclipses happening until 2027, okay? So the South Node is where we are purging out, releasing, and letting go of in order for new beginnings to come through, and we're also letting go of what has been holding us back. So be aware of that. I do have a guidebook available to guide you through this over the next year and a half with manifestation tips, rituals, and things to help you, especially when it comes to these eclipse cycles, because it's always a point of us closing one door and opening a new door, and moving ourselves out of our comfort zone can be uncomfortable. So that being said, this full moon lunar eclipse on the 14th of March in the sign of Virgos with the South Node, you are going to be needing some R&R downtime. Time at home. You could be feeling weepy. You could be thinking about your childhood. You could be dealing with challenges with your family. Family is challenging for you right now. You are noticing where you hold on too much to them, or trying to you are trying to control the situation. And I know that might be hard to hear. See, the area of life that you have family in is Virgo. Virgo is where we put things into order. People can't be put into order. They cannot. They just are. Period. Remember that. People are the way that they are. Meaning that some people are loving and want to be, loving towards you and nurturing towards you. And some people are just not that way inclined, right? So that is nothing to do with you, and it's nothing personal about you. They are the way that they are. We all have our insecurities. If anything, South Node Virgo brings that out more in people, the things we feel insecure about. And so people will be acting very insecure around you. So what can you do? You develop a meaning of, I accept these people as they are. You know, I have my healthy boundaries. You need to have them. South Node Virgo here is saying you're going to need to have that, or you're going to find yourself dealing with very unhealthy, toxic family dynamics, manipulation, you know, control from them. It's going to be hard. So what I'm going to say is boundaries for you. North Node in Pisces. And you might also decide to change, move home. You might decide to move away from a certain place that you're living. That's what this is bringing. With the North Node in Pisces, excelling towards career. This is your career trajectory. If you're not working, it's your sense of purpose, what gets you out of bed in the morning. You know, do you want to start something new that gives you meaning? Because meaning is why we live, and we always are seeking, okay, yes, what is a deeper meaning? What can I do that makes me feel good? You know, I want to step up in my community, join the community watch, something like that, that gives you a sense of reputation and meaning. It doesn't have to be a job related. Personal goals that you have that you want to work on when it comes to mental health, diet, and just regulating your nervous system. It can be a goal that you have. It doesn't have to be that. This is just something that you can do. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. These eclipses are quite exciting for you, okay? I would say they're not as challenging as you would expect them to be, but, you know, they are pushing you outside of your comfort zone, and you love comfort. Okay, I do have a guidebook available if you'd like to know about these eclipses, how they affect you, as well as what you can do during this time to nurture your soul's growth. I do have affirmations, journal prompts to guide you along the process until 2027, and how this can really make your experience beautiful. Now, we have a full moon lunar eclipse on the 14th of March happening in the sign of Virgo with the South Node, and this is going to be a release and purging out. The Virgo eclipses will be a release and purging out as we are letting go of the old and allowing for the new to come into our lives. So this is going to be happening in the area of siblings. All of a sudden, you can notice a lot of tension with your siblings, your neighbors, within your neighborhood. Maybe the neighbors are making more noise than usual. Maybe the neighbors are just getting out of hand. Maybe the neighbors are getting into your business. This is where the neighbors want to criticize you. They want to come up and say, hey, you know, I just noticed the time that you take out your dirt or what you were doing is really interfering with my sense of peace. This is the area of Virgo. Criticism is a theme. You'll be noticing that your mind is something you need to really shift, because the thoughts that you have are too self-critical. They are tearing you down to pieces. You might be even thinking about the past and when people were tearing you down to pieces, and now you're relaying and hearing those voices within your head. Time for you to let go of that with these Virgo eclipses, to clear out your mind and to have a fresh, clean, open mind with no more baggage of these harsh words. Your speech will also be changing, as you will be getting into conflicts with speech and communication with others. You would notice people from the past that you've communicated might re-enter into your life as well, especially the South Node. It brings the past to us, you know? And this will just be a time for you to really think about ways that you learn things. Now, the North Node's in Pisces, taking you on a journey over the next year and a half onto adventure and freedom. This is where you are like letting go of the small mind, small people, small talks, and thinking big. You were like, I want to see what's out there in the world. I want to conquer the world. And yes, travel, immigration, foreign business relations. You are thinking of getting ways out there in order for you to get into the world. You'll think, you know what? I think I want to live in another country. I want to jump on a boat and, you know, sail away. You're wanting to do these things to explore the world. Feel free to explore, Cancer. You can also take new steps and new heights to higher education in terms of academia. You could teach, publish. This is a time when you are really getting into expansion within your life and you're seeking that way forward. This is also great for spiritual journeys and spiritual trips for enlightenment and wisdom. Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Wow. We have a full moon lunar eclipse, first full moon lunar eclipse with the South Node in Virgo. The last time this eclipse happened with the South Node in Virgo was between 2006 and 2008, the last one being in 2008. That being said, what a powerful time to be alive. Okay, we currently have the South Node in Virgo, and this full moon lunar eclipse with Virgo being the South Node, this is where you're purging, releasing, and letting go. And a full moon is an ending. If you worked on anything previously that you're working on financially, you could get that payout. You could also notice a main form of income coming to an end. Okay, this is what that means. You might notice money or some form of support, Leo, is coming to an end that you financially were counting on, relying upon. That stream is fading away. This is the area of financial independence. So you might notice there are some financial changes that hit you and you're like, wow. There might even be something that you thought you dealt with from years ago come back financially to re-emerge back into your life. This is a time that you might rely upon old skills that you had. So an old way of making money, you might think about re-implementing it. Maybe a job you had years ago, you'd be thinking like, I should go and do that again. I just lost my job and I'm not getting this money and I need to make a change. This is so important. Okay, because the shift within your value as well. You will be going through major shifts when it comes to your value and sense of worth. That being said, I do have a guidebook available for these eclipses with the North Node in Pisces, South Node Virgo, affirmations, journal prompts, and rituals to help you on the journey and so that you can excel over the next year and a half. So that's linked down below. Now, we have the North Node in Pisces. This is your psychology. It's the area of debt, inheritance, taxes, loans, business partners, shared resources. The North Node in Pisces is telling you that you might need to rely on a partner during this time. So if there's a change in your finances, you are relying on others for support. If it's not a partner or a spouse, you are relying on others for support. You will also notice at this time inheritance that can come your way. Taxes, payments like that have been owed to you will come your way. If you invested anything years ago, or you've been investing your time and energy into something, you could get the payout. If you have been working on a business that you're investing in somehow, yes, this is all about business investments, investing with a business partner. The North Node is taking you on this journey over the next year and a half. This is great for psychology. You'll be freeing your mind of pain and past trauma because you're not letting that hold you back. This is very healing for you. This is a very healing experience and a deep spiritual journey too, because it takes you on what's hidden in your life, shows you what you haven't been seeing clearly about yourself and others, power dynamics and power plays, but allows healing. Because you step into yourself in a more empowered, evolved way. You know about boundaries at this point and you're allowed to implement them. So you could see financial success that comes your way through investments, businesses, doing things like, maybe you decide this time that, hey, you want to become a financial advisor or join a financial advising company. You are doing those types of things. You could even delve deep into, like I said, spirituality is profound for you. Okay? Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. How you doing? This is such a powerful time for you. Okay, because the South Node is in your sign. The last time the South Node was in Virgo was from 2006 to 2008. We're going to be having our first full moon lunar eclipse on the 14th of March 2025 in Virgo. Now, if you'd like to get my guide for you to feel that you can navigate the next year and a half with these eclipses, there is a guidebook available linked down below, giving you affirmations, journal prompts, what you shall experience for your sign, how to work with this energy so that you can excel over the next year and a half. Now, Virgo, important to note that when this full moon lunar eclipse happens on the 14th of March, it's taking you on a journey over the next year and a half for the South Node eclipses in Virgo. The dates will be put down below, so do check that out so that you know when it's happening. And with the South Node, it's what you need to purge, let go of, and release. And for you, sometimes Virgo, you get stuck. And the biggest thing that Virgo gets stuck on is self-criticism, and where they feel that they need to work really hard to make a relationship work. And they do this with so many relationships within their lives. It's not just their husbands and spouses. They will do this with their kids, They will do this with their loved ones and family, where they feel no matter what they do, it's never enough, and they keep on trying to do more to feel perfect. Baby, less is more. And you start realizing that Virgo is the area of life where we are of service to others. And you ask yourself, how much of service can you give till you're completely depleted and run dry? You will notice the more that you try to extend yourself, your health starts to wane and struggle. Take a break and take a step back and start filling up that cup. You are letting go the parts of yourself that have kept you stuck in the past, and you might be reminiscing more about the past, because when the South Node's there, we start thinking about the times we had, the opportunities that we didn't take. I tell you now, Virgo, step away from that loaded question, because you here and now, the present moment's a gift. All it's going to do is drag you into way down, that you don't need to be there anymore. You are here. You survived it, you've made it, you've thrived. So now focus on the here and now and what you can do. I'll ask you to let go of those connections that you have that keep you bound in pain and suffering and deplete you on every level. You need to also let go of that relationship you have with yourself that is always trying to tear you to bits and pieces just to be perfect in this world, and focus on flourishing on the healthy version of you, because you'll be aware of it. It is taking from you so they can give you something new. What is it giving you? The North Node being in Pisces is allowing you to connect to new individuals that inspire you, new individuals that see the hope within you. It's showing you healing and compassion through meeting people that are aligned and feel destined, personally and professionally, that fill your cup as much as you fill theirs. And it's giving you sweet destiny. So this is about you aligning to destined relationships with the North Node in Pisces and those eclipses. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On the 14th of March 2025, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. The South Node is in Virgo. The last time the South Node was in Virgo was between 2006 to 2008. So think about that time and what was happening in your life. So that being said, I do have a guidebook available for you to purchase, as this will help you move forward with the eclipse cycle over the next year and a half. Eclipses can be jarring and sometimes intense, and this helps you excel during these eclipses with affirmations, journal prompts, and also rituals that you can do that help you through this experience. Now, that being said, the South Node eclipses in Virgo, which you are going to be experiencing until 2027, they are going to be about you releasing and letting go, closing out old cycles, the need for perfectionism, especially subconsciously, which can lead to you overextending yourself, helping others, right? This is where you help others. You really want to be there for them, but this is to your detriment of your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. This is where you can notice that your health might be waning due to how much you extend yourself in wanting to help people when they are not ready for help, not willing to accept the help, or taking all your help, but not making anything to improve themselves, not making any choices for their own improvement. So here you are taking a step back from that. You'll be very aware of what you do within your day-to-day routine that takes a toll on your health. And this is where you are kind of just helping too much, taking on too many responsibilities. Oh, you need help with this? I'll be there for you. Oh, you need help with that? I'll be there for you. You are now needing to focus on you. This is a time where you could feel lonely or isolated because you are saying goodbye to people and situations and emotional burdens that you've been carrying for far too long. You might even feel emotional during the Virgo eclipses as you close doors and you focus on your peace. Now, you do have the North Node in Pisces, and this is going to take you on a journey over the next year and a half for you to make changes to your work life, new opportunities that will come to you, new inspiration, new ideas, Trust that. Allow it to flow. You'll also be focusing on your physical health. You might decide to join a gym. You might decide to join a yoga class. You might decide to eat healthier. You're making improvements to your health so that you can be more productive and take care of your day-to-day responsibilities. This is where you can make changes, like I said, in your work life, get a promotion, decide to leave a working environment that you feel is not doing the best for you for your own improvement. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On the 14th of March, 2025, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. This is going to be taking you on a journey over the next year and a half. So pay attention to the Virgo eclipses because this is the area of light that it will be influencing you. I do have a guidebook available to assist you on this journey so that you can excel with affirmations, journal prompts, as well as rituals that guide you through and how this whole journey influences you too. Okay, so you are letting go of social dynamics. The people you socialize with, friends, hobby group, work group, family groups too. You'll just be sitting in a group and like, I don't click or gel with these people anymore. You'll also be noticing where you try to fix people, fix the social dynamic, try to overextend yourself, take on responsibilities, try to organize. Maybe you're the one who organizes all the get-togethers. Maybe you're the one who tries to do all the things necessary for others. You'll be taking a step back. You might even not fit in anymore with these groups. You'll notice that all of a sudden they're too critical. They're too, they are striving for too many things like that are physical. And you are seeking deeper spiritual meaning. You are a water sign, the North Node's in Pisces, and it's really heightening your sense of spiritualism and spirituality and just you wanting to tap into something bigger than yourself. With the North Node in Pisces, this highlights romance, fun, pleasure. If you're an entrepreneur or thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, lots of you will decide to become an entrepreneur over the next year and a half, or even if you are one, take it to new heights. So it's really offering you new opportunities that are completely destined to you when it comes to creativity. You'll have lots of creative ideas when it comes to entrepreneurship, creative works. If you're working on a project, creative juices are flowing. You will even meet new people romantically, or an existing relationship romantically now can evolve to something meaningful. You will also be noticing if you are wanting to have children, this highlights conception, where you can become very fertile and have kids during this time. And whether you want them or not, so if you are not ready for that, take precautions. You are very fertile at this time. The North Node in Pisces is accelerating that growth and moving you to this direction outside of your comfort zone, where you are asked to tap into something deeper and more powerful through romantic connections, through children, through your creativity, through entrepreneurship. And it's really a blessed time for you to really step out of the old networks, the old collaboration group, the old team that you've been in, and focus on a journey ahead that is completely a soul journey that is so inspiring, fun, and pleasure. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On the 14th of March, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and it's taking you on a journey over the next year and a half. Now, the South Node was lost in Virgo from 2006 to 2008. So here we are yet again. And this is an experience and a journey that is pushing you forward over the next year and a half. But the South Node is telling you what you need to let go of. I do have a guidebook available if you'd like to get one, as this will be telling you about the journey and you and how you can work with it to basically excel and move in the direction that you need to, that is really blessed and destined for you. Now, Sagittarius, the South Node here is going to really show you when it comes to your work life, what has been keeping you confined, your career, your goals, your ambitions. Where are you too critical? Where are you doing too much? Where are you pushing to the point of burnout? The South Node here is going to see you change careers going forward over the next year and a half. The South Node here can even see maybe you decide you don't want to be in this career, or that career might just fall away so that you can journey on something that is much better for you. How is your career influencing your health? Sagittarius, you are a blessed sign But when it comes to your public reputation, your leadership, your career, you work. You work it. You know, everyone talks about your luck, but no one talks about how hard you work, how you pay attention to detail, how you literally, when it comes to presentations and leadership and just stepping up, you work for it. You really set goals for yourself. You plan for it. Now you're not allowed to plan for it. Forget the plan. Let it go. Trust your intuition. And this is about how you're going to accomplish what you want for your career and your goals. Trust that. That is the inspiration. Trust the journey. You're looking for a more fulfilling career journey, one that is not taking away from your health, one that's not depleting you. Now, with the North Node Pisces, the journey ahead of the next year and a half, you can really see changes coming into your family. This is where new people can come into your family through marriage or birth. You know, births can happen. This is also the time when it comes to your home family life, you might be deciding to change homes, move to a new place, you know, a place that makes you feel at peace. You're working on building strong emotional foundations within your family, within yourself, with emotional stability. This is healing. If you went through childhood or family struggles and it's been weighing on you, this is where you are seeking healing for that. And this is building on that emotional stability within your life. This is encouraging you, inspiring you to move forward with destiny and really build the home life that you desire and find the career that is really assisting you with that. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On the 14th of March, 2025, we have a full Moon Lunar Eclipse in sign of Virgo with the South Node. The last time the South Node was in Virgo and the North Node Pisces was between 2006 to 2008. So think back to the time and what was happening for you. Comment down below. I'd love to hear. Now, at this very point in time, you are asked to let go of where your beliefs are keeping you stuck, what you believe. And it's beliefs, all stories you've been telling yourself that are keeping you stuck. This is where you're also not wanting to, you know, as a Capricorn, sometimes you can overextend yourself, especially when it comes to your educational pursuits or something that you are learning. This is really telling you to let go of that. Even like you might feel at this time that you're kind of stuck, and stuck in you can't let go of your beliefs for one, as well as the feeling of being stuck just in the day-to-day routine and working for things. And you really need to not be so critical of yourself. Embrace the notion of freedom through not knowing what's going to happen next, not through the plan, but just trusting your intuition. With the North Node in Pisces, it's really inspiring you to connect to your surroundings, your environment, your neighbors, your siblings, the people that you network with. This is great for contracts and deals that can really help you step into destiny. I do have a guidebook available if you'd like to purchase that, so this can assist you over the next year and a half on how you can push forward. For you, it's not about the world view. This is about you letting go of the world, you letting go of the expectations of the world and focusing on your mind, your self-expression, and what you want. This is where the communication that you have and what you say matters and will lead you to destiny. The thoughts that you have matters. This is really great for mental healing, where you are letting go of rigid thoughts and beliefs. And you are really focusing on the healing of the mind so that you can really express yourself and flow in creative ways when it comes to lucrative contracts and deals. You will see that happening. This is where you might decide to sharpen your skills, you know, to refine what you know. Maybe you've, studied and now you're like thinking, how can I take a course to learn something that sharpens my skills so that can I move forward? This is great for writing, teaching. You might decide to write a book. This is really great for you to share your voice. And like I said, contracts, deals, negotiations, improving your environment around you so that you can step up into destiny. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now on the 14th of March, 2025, we have the first full Moon Lunar Eclipse in the sign of Virgo. The last time we had eclipses in Virgo with the South Node and the North Node in Pisces was between 2006 to 2008. So think back to those times and what was happening for you. As well as think about 2015 and 2017. That was when the North Node was in Virgo, South Node, Pisces. I do have a guidebook available to guide you over the next year and a half on how this energy influences you, how you can work with it, and how you can basically excel. Now, that being said, Aquarius, this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is going to be taking you on a journey of the next year and a half, is about pain, trauma. You need to purge it out. The South Node is what we purge out: pain, trauma, intimacy. This is where you'll be very aware about relationships you've been physically intimate with or emotionally intimate with that have been draining of your energy. Secrets, deceptions, manipulations, power plays, power dynamics come to light. You're very aware of that, and it's not to step aside. You'll be very aware of where you've been investing either time, energy, or money that has been taking away from your spirit. This is all about situations that you are clearing out. This is also things hidden coming to light that you need to see over the next year and a half for you to progress on a soul level. This is all about your finances too. Debts, loans, taxes, other people's money. You could even notice if you have a spouse that their finances go through a situation. This is about where you are really thinking about these things. Finances is big. Financial institutions, taxes, loans, inheritances, all of those things are weighing on your mind. This is the area of inheritances. So you could notice that with inheritances, they're taking longer. There's something you need to let go of here as well. Really focus on you. With the North Node in Pisces, this is about money coming to you. It's all about your skills, your talents, and how you work towards it. So say you have the South Node in inheritances and there's a challenge there. This is about your skills and how you work with it. So like contacting the right people, getting the information necessary for a payout. This is about money coming to you with the North Node Pisces. Trusting your intuition will be key. Your creative ideas will bring you money. You will be thinking about changing like where you work so that you can get paid based on your value. You'll feel like, oh my God, where I work right now, they're not valuing me. I need to change jobs. Change jobs. You need to look at your resume, redo it, and like put it out there if you're looking for a job. If it's a promotion that you want, it's gonna be based on your skills and talents. Trust your intuition, as this will lead you to success. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, the North Node's in your sign. However, on the 14th of March, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo opposite you, taking you on a journey over the next year and a half. I want you to think back to 2006 to 2008, because that was when the North Node was in Pisces and the South Node was in Virgo. As well as think about 2015 to 2017, because we have the North Node Virgo with the South Node in Pisces. These are the time frames that hold significance for you. I do have a guidebook available, as this will help you on the journey ahead and also for your soul on how you can basically use these energies. Because when we are talking nodes, we are talking about the soul's direction and the direction we are all pointed to. Now, that full moon lunar eclipse on the 14th of March in Virgo is happening opposite you. In your relationships, the relationships that drain you, that are unhealthy, that are toxic, toxic, because Virgo rules health and it shows us what is unhealthy. So you need to be very clear. This is a time for you to cut out unhealthy relationships that you have been trying to service, fix, make right, try to help to the extent of you. Let it go over the next year and a half. That is what you are doing. A lot of Pisces can see separations, breakups, and divorces going forward. This is where you, Pisces, are just like, I can't do this anymore. This don't sit right with me. And for you, Pisces, it's about trusting your intuition. It's about you really doing that and not giving into that area where you want to sacrifice yourself, because you can sacrifice yourself a lot for your relationships. You can even try to become what your relationships want you to be. You know what other people need emotionally, and you're very good at giving it. And this is telling you, take a step back from that. You cannot extend yourself like this emotionally to the point of you being depleted. With the North Node Pisces, over the next year and a half, you're excelling towards destiny. When it comes to you, you will make changes to your appearance as well as changes internally on how you pursue your goals and what you really, really want to go after. Your goals are going to change. And when you step into this destiny, which is about choosing yourself completely outside of your comfort zone, you are going to propel yourself forward on a whole new direction and trajectory. This is about your creativity, your inspiration, and the goals that you have. Is it your health? Is it your work? Is it your relationships? If you want that, it's about you being authentic to you and doing what's right by you, and you will attract that into your life.